have more trash. Surprise. Welcome to part 2 of the empties video. I had too many empties to go through them all, and I wanted to split it up anyway because I think that it can be a lot to watch. I would like to figure out how to add the timestamps. It's probably really self-explanatory. Do you find the timestamps useful? Do you ever skip around in a video? I'm just curious. I never really use them, but that might be like a personal thing. Like I like to start at the beginning and finish at the end and see everything in between. But I know maybe that would be helpful. So I'm curious if you had any feedback about using those timestamps. Please share. Let's jump into it. I want to start with, I think we'll start with the more exciting category, which is skincare. I'm just going to pull out cleansers first. For makeup removal, I really like the simple micellar cleansing wipes. I find that these work the best of any makeup wipe I've used. I try to not use makeup wipes very often. I try not to use them every day, for example, or like every time I'm taking off my makeup, but it is undeniable that a good makeup wipe is really handy, and especially for travel, or I find I use them the most when I travel. So this one is my go-to, and I will be repurchasing. If you have any recommendations in any of these categories of a product that I'm mentioning that I have used up, please share. The next makeup removing cleanser I have is this one from e.l.f. It's the Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm, and it was a balm cleanser, and I found that it worked pretty well, but it did leave like an oily feeling on my face that I had to remove with a second cleanse. I have never found a balm cleanser that doesn't require a second cleanse, and that's okay with me. The one thing about this that wasn't my favorite was the fact that it is fragranced, and I just feels unnecessary. I'm trying one from CeraVe right now that is unscented, and that's the one I purchased after this one ran out, so that will be in a future empties, I guess. This is a CeraVe Renewing SA Cleanser, and it has the active ingredient salicylic acid, which helps according to the packaging. My pup just came in with a toy, so if you hear crinkling, that's him. I don't want to take his toy away. According to the packaging, it helps gently cleanse and exfoliate, soften, and smooth skin. So I have this on rotation. It is my favorite. I actually alternate between this one and the one that has benzoyl peroxide so that I get both kind of pore cleansing actives every other day. And I do highly recommend the CeraVe brand. I've never tried anything that I disliked, except for maybe like the sunscreen. I haven't had the best luck with. It's a little bit more pricey, but I think that the quality is worth it. So speaking of active products, this is a really old, what do they call it? The Zit Stick from Glossier, and I did not find this to be super effective. I like the product, the packaging. I like the way that it smelled and applied and felt on my skin. It felt a lot less harsh than some pimple creams, but it definitely didn't like destroy pimples the way that those more harsh pimple creams do. My favorite one, I'll try to put on the screen. It's from, I don't even remember the brand that it's from, but it's orange, and it's like the Terminator 10, I believe, with benzoyl peroxide. And I find that ingredient, that active, to be the most effective for me when I have an active pimple. So unfortunately, I won't be repurchasing this, as like, fun as it is. Another active that is in my routine and a constant is the Ordinary Glycolic 7% Toning Solution. I have no complaints about this. I have gone through multiple bottles. This is potentially my 5th or 6th one. I use it every day, but not everybody can. So just make sure that when you're incorporating actives into your routine, you're always taking into account your skin type and what you can handle. Also, patch testing is really important and should be something that you're always doing when you get new products, and especially actives. Continuing on, this is another Glossier product. It's the Super Pure Niacinamide Zinc Serum, and I liked this serum. I like a niacinamide serum in my routine. I use it in the evening. I use vitamin C in the morning. I found that this one had really great texture and it's unscented. However, it's only like 5% or something. It has kind of a low percentage, and it's more gentle. So if you were like younger, or if your skin is already pretty good and you're just looking for something to like maintain and boost, maybe this Glossier one would be good for you. But it's not really, I don't think, strong enough for me because, you know, I do wear makeup pretty often, and so I think my products need to do maybe more work. And wrapping up with the skincare category, we have a couple more products here that are moisturizing. We have the Stratia Liquid Gold Lightweight Skin Strengthening Moisturizer. It's like a holy grail for me. I have come to enjoy the way that it smells. I enjoy the way that it moisturizes my skin and leaves my skin feeling soft and hydrated. It's a great one. It's a cult classic for a reason, and I'll probably continue to repurchase it. In fact, I actually have one in rotation right now. Here's an example of a CeraVe product that I didn't think was worth the money. This was a pretty expensive, it's a skin renewing night cream, and it comes in a pretty small jar here, as you can see. And it just wasn't anything special. When it comes to a heavy moisturizer, I still keep dropping things. I still haven't found one that really blows me away. So if you have a go-to heavy moisturizer, again, I'm always looking for fragrance free. And when I mean heavy moisturizer, I just mean something a little bit more inclusive, you know, not my preference is usually like a gel or thin texture, and I love that for during the day. But at night, I haven't really found a good nighttime moisturizer. I was hoping this one would be great, but it was just okay to me. This was a freebie that I actually didn't use up all the way, and I can't say I recommend it, unfortunately. I like a lot of Paula's Choice products. I've only tried a few, but I have enjoyed the few that I've tried, and I like the ingredients and the seeming ethos of the brand. So I was disappointed. I was excited when I got this for free in my order, and then disappointed when it didn't really quite work for me. I just found it's the Omega Plus Complex Eye Cream, and I just found that it was kind of heavy, and then every time I would squirt it out, it would have like a firm, crusty, why did I do that? It would have a firm, crusty, you know, piece of product that was unusable. And so eventually it started to smell off, and I just decided that since I wasn't reaching for it and it didn't get used up, it was past its prime and it needs to be recycled. Another thing that unfortunately went off is this Pure Rosehip Seed Oil. It's from Life Flow. I got it on Amazon. I got this one a couple of years ago and it went rancid. This is just something that I like to have in my, you know, arsenal of skin soothing, moisturizing products. It's kind of like almost a masking type experience for me whenever I decide to use this, and it's not very often. I did replace it, and hopefully I'll use that one up, but this one did not get used up before it went bad. And I snuck this in here in skincare, but it really does lead us into our little miscellaneous category pretty nicely. This is the Kosas Sport Lip Balm Baseline Hyaluronic Lip Balm, and I got this for my husband who was looking for a quality lip balm. I had heard good things about it. He really enjoyed it. He used it up. I borrowed it a couple of times and I also enjoyed it. It has lanolin in it as an ingredient, and I have found that lanolin is one of my favorite lip balm ingredients. Okay, continuing on, here's a little miscellaneous category. It's just a mishmash of a bunch of things that I've used up and kept so that I could talk about what I thought about them. So, starting with this wound wash piercing aftercare. I got a piercing and used this for aftercare. I found that this spray the spray component was very messy. It shoots out as like a stream of water, which can be nice because you want to get a little bit of movement whenever you're caring for your piercing. But I was a much bigger fan of just using a spray bottle, and that was a lot more gentle, less messy, and I found that it wet the area enough to clean it. It was forceful enough to, you know, get debris and things like that, but it didn't waste a bunch. And even pressing down on this thing I found hard sometimes, so I just wanted to keep this to say that as much as these saltwater spray streams can be convenient, I found a solution that actually ended up working a little bit better for me, and so I just wanted to share that. Okay, we're moving a little bit into the personal care category, like a personal care miscellaneous category. We have my go-to toothpaste, which is Sensodyne. I've been using it since high school. So yeah, I have no complaints. In my younger days, I did have sensitive teeth, especially to cold, and I don't find that I have that, and I do use this consistently, so it might be that, or maybe it's just something I grew out of or something, but I am a fan of Sensodyne. We have my go-to deodorant, which is the Secret Clinical Strength. These are two different, like, scents. One is completely clean and one is waterproof. I find that, and one of them is a roll-up solid, and one of them is a cream solid. And I'm a fan of just the Clinical Strength product in general. I really was looking for a fragrance-free deodorant, which led me to, for my wedding, I bought this Carpe because I didn't want to smell like deodorant. I wanted to have deodorant on, aluminum deodorant, but I didn't want it to have a scent because I wanted my wedding scent fragrance to be, you know, the most forward thing, and it not to mix and change how I smelled. So I got this, and it worked fine, but I am just baffled by how I was supposed to use it up, because it like went hard in here. I found that, you know, after I used it for my wedding, maybe I picked it up like a month later after using up whatever was one of those ones. And so then trying to use this, I couldn't twist up any cream out of it. It's really sticky and hard, and it was just unusable. So this didn't get used up. I only used it maybe when I tested it and then for my wedding, and that's really disappointing because I bought it online and it wasn't cheap. So I don't know if I did something wrong. I am ready to take responsibility if I did. Maybe it's something that you do have to use up. And I like the concept, but the actual product, I just found initially it's pretty sticky and not that nice. But I could deal with it if it's fragrance free, because it's hard to find that in a deodorant especially. But the fact that it didn't last is another strike against it. That means I probably won't be trying this kind again. And the last two things I have here are some hand lotions. This one is the Trader Joe's Moisturizing Hand Cream. It's in a metal tube, which is kind of fun to use up. But I didn't find that the actual product blew me away too much. It was just a normal hand cream, kind of thick, just a tad sticky, leaves a little bit of a residue. It just wasn't perfect for me, so I'm not going to be buying it again. The O'Keeffe's, on the other hand, this was actually, I got lent this one, so I didn't buy it, but I got it when it was like halfway full, and then my sister lent it to me and said just take it. So I used it up, and I love the O'Keeffe's brand, and this skin repair body lotion It says it's for extremely dry and itchy skin. I use it on my hands and feet and found that it worked well, but I pretty much have never had a problem with any of the O'Keeffe's products. They're good moisturizers. Okay, that's all for today. If you're still here, you watched the whole thing, thank you so much. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you learned something, or at least, felt I was keeping you company. I hope you are well, and I hope to see you next time.